We're witnessing history in the making as it all begins to come crashing down. Many empires and civilizations throughout history have seen their own rise and inevitable fall, while millions of Americans, as well as the rest of the global population, sit and wait anxiously for markets to crash, pensions to crumble, dollars to die, and governments to go bust. From a new bill hitting Americans' expense column and piling on more debt as a result of a recent meeting with the Ukrainian parliament in Poland, where they demanded F-35s and thought it was an obligation for every American to pay $10 a month to fund their war. To Lauren Boebert, defending her husband, or soon-to-be ex-husband, amid divorce filings, stating he didn't sick dogs on the process servers. Oh, and Mr. Joe Biden stumbling down while merely walking at the ripe age of 80, tripping while walking down steps in a total embarrassment in front of G7 leaders, waiting on him before ducking out of dinner early, probably because it was past his bedtime. I know some seniors like to eat dinner by no later than 2:30 and get off to bed before it gets too late. Man, is he spry. Yeah, let's do this for 4 more years, America. Who's with me? But who knows? Maybe we'll be spared because Marjorie Taylor Greene has announced her intent to file articles of impeachment against President FJB under the circumstances of being unfit to serve. I have several important and urgent breaking news updates that I want to share with you all. And first, I want to start with some good news, and that is that as of earlier today, I received intel that U.S. Senate Majority Leader Schumer expressed that the debt limit negotiations are currently making progress. So please smash the like button and subscribe for more updates. The Twitter post stated that the Senate will go home for recess, but be required to come back on 24-hour notice to pass a House debt budget bill. I mean, come on, really, guys? You couldn't just finalize this before you took another vacation, or maybe postpone your vacation to make sure that the American people were taken care of? At least pretend like we are and this nation is a top priority concern of yours. I believe that the average salary of a congressional elected politician is somewhere in the neighborhood of around $175,000, $175K, and they get more days off than they are required to be on and working, it seems. But perhaps they need their rest because it's been leaked that the Pentagon confessed to an accounting mistake that cost the U.S. and American taxpayers over $3 billion. While at the same time, coincidentally, the Biden administration has been under bipartisan pressure to explain how it intended to continue sending weapons to Ukraine quickly without asking Congress for more money. Well, the Pentagon has significantly reduced its estimate of the value of weapons it has sent to Ukraine, which in turn ultimately is freeing up at least $3 billion to keep Ukrainian troops supplied in their war against Russia over the next several months. So that's a thing. And a congressional delegation of 5 Republicans and 2 Democrats met with the representatives of Ukraine's parliament this month in Poland, where the Ukrainians thanked the delegation for U.S. aid and asked for F-16 fighter jets to help in the war against Russia. And a senior White House official said that colleagues wanted to see how Ukraine's counteroffensives progress before determining what other weapons it needed and how to request congressional permission for aid to support that. While Mr. Biden and his top aides have said that they would support Ukraine until it won the war. Ouch. That's going to be very costly. And just who do you think is going to foot the bill? Comment down below and let me know who you think will get left holding that steaming bag of dog shit. I imagine this will only further complicate the debt ceiling budget bill proposal and probably have some negative impacts on veterans, Social Security recipients, and beneficiaries. All the while, I continue to get asked the same questions. Kevin, what does it even matter when the dollar's on the decline and will soon be wiped out and replaced by digital currency anyway? Well, I guess that's a valid point. And perhaps why Texas has not only introduced a bill to ban central bank digital currency, CBDC, but has also requested Bitcoin companies to provide proof of reserves in the state of Texas while rolling out their own proprietary state-specific gold-backed digital currency. Don't mess with Texas. But I honestly see a future where there's a huge influx of Americans that may be looking to relocate to Texas before all this shit really starts to hit the fan and get slung all over the place and on the walls and in your hair and a little bit in your mouth too. Ew. But seriously, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned and alerted private Wall Street banks to brace and prepare for the coming banking crisis that she says is not over and that additional bank consolidation may be needed. This after regional bank stocks slid again on fears that more banks might fail or need intervention from the government. The KBW Regional Bank Index fell by nearly 3% from rumors that Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said additional bank consolidations might need to occur, all according to a CNN report. But perhaps we should take whatever CNN reports and pumps out with a grain of salt. Nonetheless, bank CEOs were told by Yellen that regional banks may need to be acquired by larger banks. And Yellen met with JP Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser, and Bank Policy Institute board members on Thursday in Washington, with a total of 24 CEOs and executives being marked present at the meeting, according to the Treasury Department. A readout given by the Treasury Department said Yellen discussed the banking system, and I have also published a telling video from a recent address by Yellen in front of the ICBA. So go watch that video after you're done with this one. If you haven't seen it already, you're going to want to check it out. The crash has been confirmed, and they're exposing their master plan, hoping that we are too blind, too weak, or too afraid to see it for what it really is, and banking on the fact that we will be too late to act on it. And it seems like they keep trying to throw us off the scent after reading headlines from MoneyWise like this. Jim Cramer just predicted that an economic wave will soon hit the U.S. and it will be fantastic for investors. But is that a good sign or a bad sign for the stock market? Well, this coming from the same faux financial advisor who made the bold prediction that Bear Stearns is fine, according to what he said in March of 2008, just a week before the banking giant collapsed. That was one of his worst ones. So is it fair to say that whenever I hear anything come from Cramer, I tend to lean towards the exact opposite? But even a broke clock is right twice a day, right? Lastly, I wanted to update you all on the California reparations checks for Blacks and descendants of families who were once owned and worked as slaves. Much like everything else, there seems to be a mountain of misinformation around all that is happening, and that not only includes who will qualify for these one-time lump sum $1 million plus stimulus check payments, but also just how much that's going to cost the country and push it deeper and deeper down into debt. I previously stated figures in the billions, but a recent ABC News publication revised that number to an eye-watering $14 trillion that is supposed to eliminate the wealth gap. I can only imagine the lines at the check cashing stands and the crazy chaos that will ensue once these checks get cut and hit these Black folks' mailboxes. I'm rich, bitch!